Hi, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. And you just got your paycheck. Time to treat yourself. Time to go drinking with your pals.
Lads.
Time to buy that new Lego Dune Ornithopter set. Time to buy a life-size Dark Knight Tumbler Batmobile on eBay. We got money to spend, right? Yeah, I mean, if you want to go broke, that's how 95% of people operate. So let me show you a different way, a better way, a way to get ahead much faster and not end up broke. Here's how to pay yourself first. The first step is establishing your basic money flow, and it needs to happen before you get paid. You need to figure out what your basic money flow is. This is easier than it sounds. All you have to do is open up your bank account and then write down all of your expenses or put them into a spreadsheet. I'm actually going to show you a full money flow example at the end of this video. So why is this important? Well, when you just think about money you spend, it's not always real.
Fugazi, fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist.
When you commit to writing down all the money you spend, it becomes real, and it's something you can manipulate, which is important. Not doing this is why 60% of Americans right now are living paycheck to paycheck. It's why I was living paycheck to paycheck once upon a time. Once you write down all of your expenses, you should think about which ones you can do without. Maybe you don't need to DoorDash an iced coffee to your house every morning for $15 to $20. Maybe you don't need that Hulu subscription you haven't watched in like 6 months.
You know how much I sacrificed?
So what you're going to do is get all this down to the bare essentials. A lot of personal finance experts recommend the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your spending on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on savings. For example, you just got a paycheck for $3,273. $1,636 would go straight to your needs. $982 goes to your wants, and $654 goes to your savings. However, I think the wants and savings should really be flipped if you really want to get ahead. And especially if you currently have any high interest debt like credit card debt. So once you have allocated your money into these categories and removed everything you can do without or just don't use, now you have your basic money flow. Before I move on to the next step that will help you get out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle, there's one last really important thing to do. You need to have your paycheck direct deposited if possible. To pay yourself first, you need to make it as easy as possible to move your money around. To do that, you need the paycheck to be automatically deposited into your bank account to make it as easy as possible. Step 2. Now it's time to start paying yourself first. The quickest way to end up living paycheck to paycheck is because you have no buffer. If something unexpected happens, like your car breaks down, or you lose your job, or you get talked into buying a timeshare at a ski resort. I don't know. If your bank account is nearly empty because you're waiting on that next paycheck, then you might use a credit card, and that's a nasty spiral. Well, that describes a lot of people, unfortunately.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
56% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency expense with their savings. So it's time to break that cycle. Build up your cash savings so you can deal with unexpected emergencies and expenses. Start with a goal of just $2,000 and then later, if you can, build it up to 3 to 6 months of your expenses saved up. Meaning that if all of your expenses you have that are needs are $3,000 a month, then having $9,000 to $18,000 in a savings account could be a lifesaver. Plus, you will earn some decent interest on that money right now if you pick the right bank. In fact, check out this video right here to see some banks that I like. So, how do you do that? Well, take your savings goal. Let's say $2,500. If you want to save that money up in a year, that's $208 a month. Now for the magic step. Sign into your bank account. Set up an automatic transfer of $208 a month to happen right when you get paid. That way the money has already been moved before you have a chance to buy a Jurassic Park paper cutout diorama.
You crazy son of a... You're dead.
Or a new $1,100 iPhone. Getting some savings stacked up is crucial for the next step. Time for step 3. One of the biggest killers in all of finance is high interest debt. Let's say you decided you wanted to become internet famous by jumping your car off a ramp. Well, first, that's badass. But second, you may wreck your car in the process. Worth it? What isn't worth it is the $3,500 in repairs you rack up from your stunt. If you don't have an emergency fund, well, out comes the credit card. So you put all that on the card, and let's say you're able to allocate $100 a month to paying it off. Should just take 2 years, right? Unfortunately, not. Credit cards have interest rates you have to pay for being loaned that money, and they are usually crazy. If your credit card interest rate is 28%, which is not uncommon, and you pay $100 a month towards your balance, you will end up paying $3,854 just in interest. So $6,354 in total for a $3,500 car repair. And it will take you just over 6 years to pay it off. And that's why credit card debt is cancer, and why you need to cut it out the moment you get your emergency fund locked in. That way, if something else comes up that's unexpected, or you decide to be Evel Knievel again, you won't need the credit card. You'll have cash ready to go. It is so crucial that you do this step before the next step, which is the step that will put you ahead more than any of the others. Step 4, you work hard for your money, right? So why shouldn't your money work hard for you? The answer to this is to invest your money, but the problem is that after you receive your paycheck and pay all your expenses, you often don't have enough money left over at the end of the month to invest.
I've only got 7.
Well, this is how you fix that. Just like we covered in the saving step, you need to automate this right when you get paid. If you don't pay yourself first, you'll never truly get paid because all your money will evaporate and you'll need to wait for the next paycheck. Getting rich isn't about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. And doing this ASAP is important because time is crucial for investing. If you're 30 and you start investing $250 a month, in 30 years, that could turn into $565,000. If you start at age 40 and invest that same money to the same age of 60, it only turns into $189,000. That extra 10 years is massive. And hopefully you increase your investment amount over time, but even $500,000 is better than $0. If you save 30% of your income, you can split that up any way you want it. 5 to 10% could go to your savings account for unexpected expenses or if you lose your job. And then 20 to 25% could be invested. And even that could be split with like 20% going into an S&P 500 index fund like VOO and the other 5% going into Bitcoin or something. The sky is the limit here. Just comes down to your goals. If you want to be a millionaire and you're age 25 right now, well then $265 a month invested into the S&P 500 could get you there by retirement age. You might even consider doing a Roth IRA so you can get all that money tax-free. I actually covered that in another video, but there is a surefire way to invest even more money and get wealthier faster. And that's step 5, which is to make more money, which I know is easier said than done, right? Well, I think that all depends. There are so many side hustles out there right now that are very lucrative that you can start up super fast. Everything from posting TikToks created with AI, to delivering food with your car, to picking up stinky dog waste. You'd be surprised how much money you can make doing some of this stuff. So let's say you spend 4 hours a week doing a side hustle that makes an extra $500 a month. Now let's say you invest that money. If you invest $500 into something like the S&P 500 and it continues to grow at a 10% return year over year, well, that $500 a month turns into $102,000 in just 10 years, which is pretty wild. Starting a side hustle or side business is such a powerful income hack. And if you're running a side business, I have some very exciting news for you. This video's sponsor, Relay, which is one of my favorite business banking solutions, is currently running a contest where they are awarding $100,000 in cash prizes to entrepreneurs and people who have started their own side businesses or side hustles. The grand prize is $50,000 in cash plus a ton of extras. There is no purchase necessary to enter this contest. All you have to do is share your why. Every business has a why behind it. The reason you keep up the hustle and trudge through the tough times. So Relay and the Profit First team are asking you to share your why with them. You can check the link in the description to enter the contest. If you have a side business, you've got to check this out. The contest closes on November 12th. So good luck. As for me, what is my why behind my business? Well, before I got my financial life on track, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I remember that stress and anxiety. Once I got free from that, I never wanted to return. And now that I'm a business owner, I want to avoid that at all costs. Running a profitable business where I can not only pay myself, but where I can also save for rainy days or other unexpected things is massive. I love making YouTube videos, and I also love getting comments from people who watch my videos and have got some value out of them, or have had something in their life change for the better because of them. And running a profitable business enables me to do that. Now, let's put all this into practice. Let's say you make $65,000 a year at your job after taxes. You get paid $2,708 every 2 weeks. That $2,708 is automatically deposited into your checking account. We want to save right away. So, 30% off the top immediately, $812 in total. And we'll split that into thirds. We have a $271 auto transfer to your savings account, earning 4.5% in interest. Then $271 is immediately sent to your Roth IRA account and invested. You can invest up to $6,500 a year into the Roth, which is $541 a month or $270.5 every 2 weeks. The last $271 goes into your standard brokerage account and is invested or is split in half. Half to the brokerage, half to something that is maybe riskier but with potentially higher return, like my favorite, Bitcoin. This is also transferred automatically. So now you have 70% of your paycheck left. 50% of that is $1,354 and will be set aside for your needs. Rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, insurance, etc. 20% of that remaining amount is for your wants, shopping, dining out, hobbies, whatever. If you do this every month, you will save and invest before you even have a chance to spend all your money. What a novel concept. You will build an emergency fund and save for your future via investing. What's so cool about this is it can actually apply to more than just your personal finances. If you start a side hustle or a side business, or if you already run one, then you can do this with your biz as well. When money flows into your business account, you can have it automatically set aside money to pay yourself first, to pay your expenses, to save for taxes, etc. This is why I love this video's sponsor, Relay. They let you set up multiple checking accounts and smart transfer rules so that as soon as money rolls in, you can automatically disperse them into different accounts by percentage. Say you earn $1,000 of income from your business. Well, with smart transfer rules, you can automatically set aside 15% of your income into a tax account to save for that tax bill. And do you want to increase how much you're earning and investing and enjoying? Well, watch this video right here where I break down some really lucrative side hustles that you could start earning with right away. Goodbye